man, hanging out. Are you taking me for a jog right now? I know you just did a 10K, I think last week, bro.
Yeah, no, I had to take my car to the dealership for oil change, and I had training before that, so I have to walk to get a lunch nearby. If you don't
Man,
mind me walking, if not, I can call you when I get to the restaurant I'm going to.
no, I like this way more. This is actually so much better because I love it. I picture you going into the dealership and being like, sorry, guys, I don't have time. I have 1,000 interviews to do today. I'm actually like a micro celebrity.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You don't brag about it. You're not like, hey, guys, I'm the tip sport winner. You guys got to fix up my car real quick here.
No, I'm at a point where I really try to avoid any association of me with martial arts and fighting. When people ask me like, "Oh, are you a fight?" I don't know. Like I never believed or never thought that one day I will have the look of the fighter, where like even people like older people, they're like, "Oh, are you a fighter?" I'm like, does it say on my forehead or like, what do you think I'm a fighter? They're like, I don't know, just your posture, your face, like you're super serious. I'm like, I don't see myself that way, but yeah. Anyway,
It must suck being stereotyped as your job. And you're like, please, no, not a cage fighter. Anything else. Call me a wrestler, a gymnast, not a fighter, though.
no, I had a good time when I used to live in Florida, and I worked as a server at a restaurant. They would say like, oh, as we were waiting to be seated, somebody told us that you're gonna serve us and that you're a professional athlete. What type of athlete are you? And Florida. I was like, what would you guess? And they're like, I don't know. Like you're very athletic, maybe tennis or golf. And I was like, golf.
Yes.
Uh, and then they're like, oh, some older guy would ask me like, oh, what's like, can you give me any tip or any advice for my swing? I was like, yeah, like let's talk later. Let's go outside. I'll show you. And
Show
so
him
I had,
your right swing.
yeah, so I had a blast, just kind of like scamming people that I'm a pro golfer.
But I do find that, like, especially with my family as well, where they're a little bit older and they don't quite understand what I do for a living, but they're very happy to engage in sports talk with me. And I don't know
Yeah,
anything about football or baseball or hockey, but they'll talk at me about this stuff and actually feel disingenuous of like, I should know more about other sports because we exist in like a weird sport, don't we?
yeah. Well, we do, but you know what? Like the last couple of years, I'm very much so. We're not just last couple of years. My whole life, I'm very much into basketball. Last couple of years, just living in Colorado, having Denver Nuggets dominate NBA league, and a guy from my country, Nikola Jokić,
Yeah.
dominating the league. Just kind of like got me extra in tuned into it. Plus, uh, Nikola's skill coach, Olgi Stojakovic, who's one of the coaches on a Nugget staff and Serbia national team coach,
Mhm.
he trains Muay Thai at my gym. And so,
What?
so, so yeah, so I get to talk with him a lot. And once you like understand one sports, which for me is, martial arts,
Mm.
like you can understand what's happening in basketball, you can understand what's happening in other sports, because like there's some like um underlying parallel that's connected with all sports,
Mm.
especially when it comes to like commitment and discipline, and like just like observing from outside some of the uh, some of the guys on Nuggets, like their performances and knowing their personal life, or
Mm.
even not knowing their personal life, I can guess like what's happening and why are they so like. underperforming, or like, I don't know. I just feel that like
Mm.
understanding one sport to the T allows you to have some uh, some perspective on other sports as well.
Man, so it's funny you bring that up. So a few years ago, I worked in a tailor shop because, whatever, I had a weird life. But I
Yeah.
worked for a gentleman born in Sarajevo, and he's quite a bit older than us, but he brought in a TV to watch the FIFA World Cup. This was maybe 15 years ago when
Uh-huh.
Serbia had qualified. And it was like I think that was the year that Serbia had beat Germany. So there are a few major athletes, and you brought up Jokic as well. There are just like a handful of athletes, but people from Serbia take incredible pride in these like half a dozen athletes from the country, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like I watched last night, Novak Djokovic
Yeah.
had podcast with one of the former Croatian national team soccer player,
Mhm.
and it was such a good podcast. Like just listening to guys, one was elite in soccer, one's elite in tennis,
Mm.
just like talking sports. It was so amazing.
Oh, of course, man, of course. Now, Jokic, I think my favorite running joke with him is that he owns a ton of horses at home, and
Yeah,
everyone's like, "How fucking big is this guy's horses to carry him?" He's
yeah,
massive, dude.
yeah. Well, him and his whole family, his brothers are massive as well.
Wait, so there's a whole like family of like 7 foot tall, 300 pound sumo wrestlers in Serbia. Is that right?
No, no. The funny, I do private sessions with his older brother
Yeah.
or oldest brother, Strahinja,
What,
and
bro? This is so cool.
uh, yeah, we haven't worked out in few months, but yeah, we I do privates with him. I hold pads for him, and we wrestle a little bit and do some stuff on the ground.
Mm.
Uh, but uh, but yeah, I think he's 6'7". There's a middle brother who's 6'6", I think, and then Nicola's 7 foot or 6'11". And
Yeah.
my massage therapist was asking me like are their parents just massive people too? I was like, no, they're actually just like normal sized people. I don't know what happened in genetics where they just like offset their whole family tree.
Matt.
Because I met their parents at Serbian church here in
Yeah.
Denver, and they're just like, I think his dad is kind of my size, 6'2", maybe 6'3", but
That's a
not
big man. That's a large fella.
well. That's a yeah, 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" is like, like a little bit above average person, but considering that he has three sons who are all like above 6'6"
Yeah.
and 6'7", that's wild.
Matt, it's just incredible. Okay, we actually got to talk a little bit of talk shop here a little bit. Hey, congratulations, child on the way. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Huge congratulations, man. And wedding anniversary, I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a little bit more. It was May 9.
Man, it's been a good year. You got a child on the way. You won the tip sport tournament, wedding anniversary, and
Well,
wedding last year.
Tip Sport Game Changer. That's all old news. That's like more than a year and a half ago. I wouldn't brag about that anymore.
No, yeah, yeah, the money's gone. That's why you had to come back, right?
Yeah, oh no, not necessarily, but yeah, I mean, the money's gone. Yeah, but there's no debts. There's no IRS to chase me. There's no banks, no car dealership. I paid off. I don't owe anything to anyone, and that's huge relief.
All right. And it has been more than a year. I know you had some injuries there and there. You're coming back Octagon 72. That's coming up June 14th. How's training coming along and how does your body feel?
Uh, Body feel like I have to cross myself. God bless. Body feels great. I think I learned a lot last the year that I won Team Sport Game Changer. I was like, I think I was injured 3 out of 4 camps, and I had to just like got it through. And so I think this camp I did like super. I was trying to be super smart, and I was trying not to go too crazy, but also not to go too light, so I can prepare for the challenge that's in front of me. I think Ronnie's as a great competitor, very athletic, very strong. Uh, so yeah, I think the body held up well through this camp. I took good care of myself, and super excited to jump in an Oktagon in a week and a half.
Bro, cannot wait. And thank you so much for your time. Best of luck in the match, sir.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.